This is about how you can start with nothing. If you don't have any money right now, especially in the market that we're in. The market that we're in has high interest, high, sales prices, right? Which makes it really
Okay.
super, super tough for cash buyers to take advantage of it. I mean, if people are selling houses for 300,000 and they're worth 320 or even 330, sometimes even 350, that's
Mm-hmm.
when you're doing an actual cash purchase, that's just not enough to really make a deal. That's why the creative financing strategy is important. But we're also telling them we're cash buyers as well. But I want to go back here and I'm going to show you exactly how to get to these agents. So I'm going to share my screen with you.
Okay.
And okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So this is a strategy that is just designed specifically to speak to real estate agents, specifically designed for that. Why would you want to go as an investor? Because you've been taught a lot of times, stay away from the MLS. There's not good deals there. And there is a time when that is true to a certain extent.
Okay.
And that is, when you have a shifting economic climate like we have now, the deals are going to be there on the MLS. We're going to find deals there because what we're doing here is developing relationship. This
Right.
is a process that takes time because a lot of agents, you're going to call and they're never going to answer. They're not going to respond to your voicemails or texts. In fact, the only time I leave a voicemail for them is when they've taken the time to actually set up the voicemail. But if their voicemail says, "Hey, listen, but if you want a quicker response, text me." I'm not going to leave a voicemail. I'm going to immediately text them. I'm going to do
Okay.
that either way, though. I'm going to text them whether they ask me to or not. The follow-up game is crucial here, especially when you get an agent that actually answers the phone.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Even if they say they don't have anything, follow back up with them in a week. Constantly follow back up with them. You're always going to have people to talk to. Why? You're developing relationships. First, you're doing the whole rapport building thing, but you're developing relationships with them. Once you have 10, 15, 20 of these folks,
Mm-hmm.
these agents that you're talking to regularly, you
Mm-hmm.
may never ever again have to pay for marketing. They can bring you, depending on the kind of deals you want to do, you can do
Okay.
them as creative as you want at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But you can absolutely do it. To be clear, what we're doing here is showing you a strategy that you can do with literally no money, no services, no VA, nothing. Just you, a notebook, a telephone, and a computer. So you're going to start out by going to Zillow, and when you're at the homepage, you go to Agent Finder. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to type in the location. If you want to look in, like, give me a city that you would like to focus on.
Let me see. McDonough.
McDonough.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we got McDonough, Georgia. We go into specialties. We want listing agents. We're looking for. I mean, you can go to foreclosure, you can go to short sale, you can go to one of those two as well. But
Mm-hmm.
I focus on the listing agent because foreclosure and short sale is going to be in there anyway. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and not every deal that you're going to have is going to be a foreclosure or a short sale or a
Right.
relocation for that matter. Sometimes it's just people that can't sell the property for whatever reason. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I always say for whatever reason, but it always boils down to money. It's the price. The price is too high. I go to listing agent and then everything just pops up. And now you have all these folks. You have pages and pages and pages. Let's see, right? There's
Mm-hmm.
25 pages here.
Wow.
Point
All
them
eight.
all listing agents in one city. Let's go here. Let's just pick an agent. We'll just pick the first one here. And we're going to hit the arrow over here to the right. A lot of times they're going to show you what their active listings are. Sometimes it shows you, sometimes it doesn't. That's fine. We don't know what these folks have. Okay, so she's based out of Stockbridge. This is just McDonough. This is just McDonough. 18 years experience. She's got 94 sales under her belt, right? Let's see what this says here for her. Okay,
And
so
no skills in
yeah,
the
she's
last
got
12
she's
months.
got no sales in the past 12 months. I would still call because
Mm-hmm.
maybe she has some listings. So I call all of them on the list. I call them all. I start at the top and I go from there. And you're going to say something to the effect of this. My name is Myles. She acknowledged, yes, this is her. Hey, my name is Jason Myles. I am a local real estate investor, and you don't have to say you're local if you're operating in another place. You can say, I'm a real estate investor that invests in the area that you specialize in. And I'm looking for properties that are, difficult for you to sell. And I'm looking here. I found you on Zillow, and I'm looking here that you're a listing agent who specializes in foreclosures and short sales. These are areas where we love to work in. So if you have listings that are difficult for you to sell, again, whether they're foreclosure, short sale, no equity, and people have to write a check, we can actually save them some money by coming in and buying these properties. 90% of the properties that we buy, we're using creative financing strategies. But I want to be clear, we always make sure the agents get paid in these deals. We're not asking you to do something for nothing, right? You might have listings that are, 90 days, 100 days old, whatever it is. We'd love to have an opportunity to look at them, present you with an offer, and hopefully get this property sold, with your, with your seller. We of course use local closing attorneys, absolutely, 100%. We're not trying to cut anybody out. We're not trying to do anything here. We do real closings. We do subject to owner financing, or sometimes a variation of the two. And then there are other things that we do. So we would love to see what you have. If you have anything that fits that criteria, or anyone in your office for that matter, that might have that issue, we absolutely would pay you a referral if there's someone in your office that had listings like this that they're having a difficult time getting off. Does that make sense to you? And I leave it right there, and you could say that last part any way you want, but I'm always asking, if you got it, is what I'm saying clear? I want to make sure that we understand, one another, even when I'm talking to the agents, right? And it's inevitable. You're going to get agents that have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. You're going to have some, because they don't know, they'll think that you're full of it. They'll think that you're, trying to get over on them or whatever the case. And obviously we know that's not the case.
Right.
So we want to very quickly explain what it is we're looking for to them within just a couple, 2 or 3 minutes, and then have a dialogue. And they're going to tell you, look, oh, I don't do any of that. I've done blah, 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 this, that, and the other, or whatever they're telling you. You don't care about the no's. You just want to hear the yeses. But yeah, I've got a gentleman who's in our program who was absolutely getting discouraged from calling these agents, right? So he's got the VA, and the VAs are calling all the other people, and he wanted to personally, which is what I recommend, develop the relationship with these agents. He wanted to do that. And so he's calling the agents, and they're either not answering, or they answer and they don't get back to him, or they send him garbage. They're just pulling, listings that are 100 days old, and you got to call them back. Again, even those were a small percentage, right? The ones that were sending them the deal. So you have to call them back and say, no, you're just sending me listings. That's not what I'm looking for. I need, I want to, because I can look those listings up myself. I can look up 100-day old, 120-day old listings. I can do that. I'm looking for people that have specific information about specific deals that need attention today. That's what I'm looking for. And so if you have that, I'd want to be one of the people that you reach out to. Even if you have cash deals, properties that are going to be investor friendly, we got to come in and do the renovation. It doesn't matter how bad it is. I also want to look at those deals. So before you actually list it, give me a call. And those are the conversations that come up. That's how you jump into a conversation with them.
Okay. And you say not all of them, though, will know about the type of houses that we're looking for.
They'll know about the type of houses we're looking for, but they very well may not know the process, right?
Okay.
This person's had 6 sales in the past 12 months. So let's see if we can get, what's her name? And remember, they don't answer the phone all the time. So we're just going to keep calling until we get 1 or 2, okay?
Okay.
You will now be connected to this Premier agent on a call recorded for quality purposes. Hello?
Hey, Miss Nixon.
Yes.
Hey, Miss Nixon. My name is Jason Myles. Do you have a moment to talk? It's about real estate, of course.
Okay, how can I help you?
Yes, so I am a local real estate investor. We buy properties here in the Atlanta metropolitan area, some other areas as well, but this is our home base. And we're looking for properties that are kind of difficult. Any listings that you might have that are kind of difficult for you to close, foreclosure, short sales, no equity. They've just been on the market for a long time for one reason or another. And
No, not at the moment.
okay. And that's cool. We specialize in, creative financing. We do a lot of cash deals as well. But in the event that you, or maybe even someone in your office has something that they're having a tough time with, I'd like to be someone that you could call for that.
Okay, sounds good. And what was your name again?
My name is Jason Myles, Myles.
Okay, got you. All right,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Mm.
Bye. Okay, so now do you see how she didn't even know what to say, or she was just too eager to actually even get us off the phone? Right?
It's like you're talking something that she don't know nothing about anyway.
Exactly. But so I'm going to write her name down and number.
Right.
This is the kind of stuff that you're going to get. It's not bad. I was surprised that we got somebody on the first call.
Yeah, because you say normally they don't answer their phone.
But, there's a lot of them that just don't.
Which is crazy, because how do you know what I'm calling for?
Yeah.
I could be wanting to buy a house from you.
That's right. Now, here we have someone who specializes in relocation, new construction, and landlord. She's a new construction specialist. If you're looking for high quality.
Now, I have a thought and a question.
Yes.
What about, like, okay, I took the class before.
Yeah.
What about, you're new and they want to give you all the crappy stuff because you're new.
Right.
You're not going to. So wouldn't they be somebody that you want to call as well? Because I see that we're skipping over the ones that haven't sold anything.
No, we're not skipping over. I'm trying to get somebody that's active so we can get them on the line.
Oh, okay.
Because, when you have people that really aren't that active, it's hard to get them on the line. It's why they're not active. For those agents, because we're going to talk, like I said early, we call everybody. We don't know, who's eager to learn and who isn't.
True. Okay.
So we have to, so I'm going to call her.
Hi, this is D-Lo. How can I help you?
Hey, Miss D-Lo. Good afternoon. How are you today?
I'm well. What about you?
Best day of my life. I can't complain. Thank you for asking.
Good.
Well, my name is Jason Myles. I'm actually giving you a call today because we're looking to acquire some more real estate. I'm local. We buy properties here local. We buy in other places as well, but this is home, so we really kind of focus on it. And I'm looking to buy properties that are difficult for you to sell, like if listings that you might have that, people that don't have any equity or they need to sell fast or there's some problem. It's been on the market for 120 days for one reason or another. We do a lot of cash deals, but we do a lot of creative finance deals for people that are in these kinds of situations. And we always, I want to make sure I put this out there. I always make sure that, the agents get paid. So it doesn't make any sense for you to help me out if you can't get paid. So that wasn't even part of the conversation, right? Well, I got to say it because, I've spoken to people that are like, well, how do I get paid in this? And then of course I have to break it down, but I just wanted to be known, that we're not looking to shortcut around you in any way, shape, or form. We're just looking for hard to do deals that you might have, or maybe people in your office have.
So just email me your criteria on like price point, what you're looking for, and if something come up, I'll think about you.
Absolutely. Now we just stay under $500,000. So it doesn't matter where it is. It's just 500,000 and under.
500,000 and under.
Yeah. You know, you say what?
You have to have more to your criteria unless you're just coming in slashing and slicing.
I mean, we're not necessarily just slashing and slicing, because a lot of times, I mean, you know, there might be someone asking, you know, $500,000 for a house because that was yesterday's price, and you're looking at it today, and you're like, you know what? We need to take that thing down, you know, $50,000-$60,000 if we really want to get it sold. A lot of times, if the deal makes sense, and it has everything to do with interest rates, things like that for us, excuse me. But if the opportunity makes sense and everybody is amenable to the conversation and the terms that we're talking, I can go ahead and give them the $500,000. We can structure that in. So it's to give you an example, we're doing a deal in Texas right now. It's a creative financing deal. So the gentleman wants 200 and he wants 225 for the house. The offers he's been getting are substantially lower than that because of the market. So we come in and I literally just made this deal Friday. So we came in, I explained how I would like to do the creative financing, what I would put down. He said, I need a little bit more money than that. I was going to put down 10%. He said he needed 100,000. So we've got our private money that we'll pull 100,000 out, give him his 100,000, and then he's taking a seller carried second to minimize his tax exposure.
Okay.
But he's moving out of the country, and he has a lien, excuse me, that he has to pay off. But he wants to have a certain amount of money when he goes out of the country at the end of the month, and it wasn't looking like he was going to make it. So, long story short, that is to kind of show you how we can use different, you know, we use seller financing, we use private equity, we do all kind of different things, sub-twos, whatever the deal calls for that makes sense.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, and that's why that the criteria is, I mean, we buy 3 2s, 3 1s, 5, you know, it doesn't matter what it is, as long as it fits in that criteria. The only thing that I don't want are those 700 square foot houses. I can't stand them.
Okay. Acquire the property.
So 90, well, I'd say maybe 4 out of 5 of the properties that we acquire, we keep, and then we'll wholesale off the rest.
Okay, and the ones you keep, you rent them out?
So our exit strategy isn't a typical rent. We do lease options, wraparound mortgage, short-term rentals.
Gotcha. All right, cool.
So we create homeowners under normal circumstances, but some of the stuff that we get just makes sense to be, you know, short-term rentals. We have, of course, the whole Airbnb route. That's one aspect of it, but we do a lot of corporate rentals as well, meaning, you know, we'll work with an executive team that, you know, like Delta we work with, Coca-Cola we work with, you know, local companies here that have people that are either relocating and they haven't found a place yet and they need a place to stay between now and then, or they're just here for training for a short period of time. So our short-term rentals are all geared towards those.
So I think that's working out perfect.
It works out absolutely. Well, this is a perfect city for that.
I'm gonna have to get in one of your class.
They're always available. Every Sunday at 7 p.m. I do what's called Sunday School. You can catch it on Facebook or YouTube, Twitter, or LinkedIn live.
Is your cell number?
Yes, ma'am.
Send me your link or your you know, how to tap in on Sundays.
Okay, I'll definitely do that. And I have your information here. I've written everything down because I like to follow up and see where we can go. Because you might not, like you said, have something today, but someone, anything can happen at any given time, and I like to be top of mind.
Always, you know, by you calling and reaching out, you know, that's how I remember people. Because see, I'm a realtor, but me and my husband, we also investors.
Okay, perfect.
But see, a long-term investment as far as rentals, you know, just regular rentals.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm diversifying. Tap into some other spaces.
Well, some of these exit strategies, we could talk about it another time, but they're going to make you more money and they're going to require less of your time.
Sure. That sounds like a plan. I'm glad you called.
I'm glad you answered. I'm having a good day today. That's right. I'm so glad you answered. You know how hard it is to get agents on the phone sometimes?
I don't like that as well.
Yeah.
You know, when you call, you leave a message or a text and they just do not reply. After I give everybody 24 hours. I'm like, hey, in 24 hours, they at least get back with me.
That's right, at least. Well, I'm glad we did this. Thank you so much. And so lock me in. I'm going to lock you in as well. And I'll make sure I send you a couple links. I'll send you the link to the YouTube channel because I'll send it to Facebook as well. And you can kind of choose what you like from there.
Gotcha. Now, that Facebook, it'll let me know about your times on Sundays.
Yeah. So like if you know what it's going to be like it's in the Facebook group. So you're always going to be notified when that happens. And if you follow me on YouTube, it is going to pop up in your timeline to say, hey, this is what's upcoming. You asked to be notified. So here's your notification.
All right. So I'll do that. Where did you find my number at?
So I went to Zillow and looked for listing agents in my area, and I'm just giving you a call.
Perfect. I appreciate that. All right, cool. Well, you enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks for calling.
Absolutely. I look forward to speaking to you soon.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You see?
Well, that was a good call.
Right. And
she
so
wants to join the class.
Exactly. So these are, because you're going to wind up training them either way it goes. I mean, and for you, that's why I'm here, right? And as you get better and more comfortable at what to say and all the processes in terms of how you're going to close these deals out, then you're going to be able to say, I know what to do. It's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. And as I've always said, it just takes time. But these are easy calls.
But see, it's easy to you. But just like you had that call with her, and see, she was very engaged in the call. So, but you're able to answer her with a lot of stuff that I don't know. You know, you gave her an example of what you all are doing. See, you have background information on, you know, how to do this deal, how to do that deal. So it just comes so easy for you to say it and say, that's my fear. Getting on the phone, meeting somebody like D, who's going to say something, and I don't know what to say to her.
Yeah, well, so you just pull it back for a second and you say, you don't put it all on your shoulders. Say that you work with an investment group and use me as an example. Use any story that I have as a story for you to tell. You know, say, look, I work with a group of people or a company, you know, whatever you want to say, or I work with an investor, you know, this guy named Myles, this big old light-skinned dude with locks. And talking to these agents and being clear with them, as clear as you can be, just to start. All you're doing is starting the relationship process.
Right.
That's all you're doing, right? I promise you, I'm going to develop a relationship with Miss Lowe. Definitely going to develop a relationship with her and her husband, because I'm going to invite them to the things that we do. I'm going to show them how we do it. I'm going to invite them to the education. I'm going to just, you know me, I'm going to just give and give until they're like, I got to be a part of this. How do we fast track this process? And then we go from there. So she was very eager to know more about what it is we're doing. She's like, unless you're just going to be cutting and slashing. And what she meant by that was because there's people out here that are teaching some of the most ridiculous strategies. Okay. If you put your house on the market right now for $300,000 and, you know, you're getting calls from people that are like, okay, listen, I see your house is worth about $300,000. You're selling and you've listed it right. Okay, I'll offer you $200,000. Your first instinct is to either laugh or hang up. You know, because there's no basis. What is the basis of this offer? Why? I mean, I understand you're an investor and you want to make money, but I don't have the problem that you're looking for. Right. So you first have to identify those issues. What we're doing working with agents are identifying those issues with people every day. When you get motivated, hey, this agent here over the past 12 months has done 16 deals. And I promise you, she's turned down some deals. Agents like that will turn down a deal that they don't think they can sell by just being honest to the homeowner, look, I can't sell your house for $300 if you owe $300 and you don't have the money to write a check, for the 8 to 10% above this that it's going to cost to sell it. Because you got your seller's agent, you got your buyer's agent, you got seller contributions to closing, you've got taxes, that are going to have to get paid, transfer taxes that have to get paid. It's going to be about 10%. So if you can't stroke a check for $30,000, I can't sell your house. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. And if I put it on the market for $350,000, it's never going to sell because it's worth $300,000. I'd be wasting your time and mine.
Right.
And there are agents that are honest with people about that. Now, what this does, when she comes across those situations and she's meeting with people, she's going to be in her mind thinking, I know this guy named Myles who does these kind of deals.
Right. So it's no longer like, let me not take that because I can't do anything with it.
That's right.
It's,
now, she might not be able to make 3%. She may only make 1 or 1.5%.
Right. But it's still worth it. And
absolutely.
She's not doing any work.
Because guess what's going to happen? What is the biggest form of advertising for an agent?
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth. When that person says, this agent, Miss Lowe or whoever, found us a buyer in 2 weeks and we had absolutely no equity in our property. We had none. These people came in, they paid all the closing costs, they paid the agent, they put some money in our pocket, potentially, whatever the case. All they're going to do is brag about her and what she did for them when there were a few people that could help them out of this situation. And that's what we're looking for, because now she has another way to make money. And by the way, when she has a pocket listing, because as you heard me tell her, look, we do a lot of cash deals as well. We don't mind properties that have an enormous amount of work that needs to be done on them. We just want to get it right. We'll pay cash for most of those deals. So when she gets a deal like that, if I'm good at what I do and I'm following up with her, sharing information as she asked me to do, she's going to think of me when she does these deals or when she's presented with these opportunities. Those are called pocket listings for the agent.
Pocket listings. Where
they talk to somebody, they don't want to list it quite yet, and they want to share it amongst their investor pool first and foremost. And she knows I'm only going to make about $3,000 if I list this thing. I'll get it sold, but if I call Myles and Steve, I can get $5,000 for sure. I might even get 6 or 7, because she knows how to do the numbers. She now knows what to look for. So she weighs that. Do I list it or do I call my investor buddies? How and that way is how much that check is for her. If I list it, I make $4,000. If I call them, I make $6,000. I'm calling them.
Right.
And so that's how that plays out. But we got to get you over the hump, because I'm telling you, we called 2 people together today. 2.
We did.
One of them is going to be an amazing, amazing contact.
She sounds like it. I like her personality and everything.
That's right. If you spent 3 hours a week calling agents, I tell people be on the phones 5 hours a week. That's what I say. Find 5 hours a week. If you did that in a month's time, probably less than that, you'd have those people, some of those people that you call that are looking for the call, waiting for your call, not people that were cold calling and they're like, how'd you get my number? No, these people, their business is real estate.
I like, you're giving me the information and keeping it like, okay, let's learn this one thing first.
Yes.
Then we move to the next thing. See, I like that. So my first thing is, like you say, just getting on the phone.
Yep.
And just talking with just what I do know, because I do know a little.
You do. And we're going to, so this, of course, you already know my process for teaching is learn, do, do, right?
And that always works, always.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is the way it's supposed to be. So having said that, what you're learning today is how to talk to agents, how to spend no money and build up over time an army of people that are working for you. That is going to require you speaking to that army. So
right.
what we're going to do, you're going to start right now, and you're going to talk to those 3 people that you know, and you're going to tell them that whole spiel. I'm going to share this with you. Then we're going to start talking about what creative financing is, you know, and how those deals look for you. And we're going to talk about cash deals, which is going to be easy for you. We're going to just talk about those 2 things. We're not going to do it today because I want you to focus on, right.
We are to we're going to talk about creative financing and cash deals.
That's right. So when you're on the phone with these folks,
yes,
you know, you can work your way around the conversation.
Okay.
I'm giving you everything you need to find success as a real estate investor. So make sure that you subscribe to this channel and like this video. See you later.